Have you ever given your friends a really nice OTF knife to actuate? Hey dude, check out this knife. Make sure, by the way, your friend isn't an idiot where he'd hurt himself. Chances are they're going to be doing this for about an hour. They're so fun. This, of course, is the previously reviewed, highly recommended Benchmade Infidel in Dagger D2. Cool knife. I've been playing with OTF knives so much today, I have a dent in my thumb. Ever been there? They're fun, man. I love them. Here comes the drop point S30V version of the Infidel. Reviewed along with that one. Finally got around to it. I love the Infidel. First and foremost, the name. Such a cool name. I think I said that in the review. Pivotal into having a certain image for your knife. Benchmade got it right with this lineup. Now, some of you guys watched that video. I looked at your comments and you had a very good point. And that's what this video is about. Of course, you see the title. You said, hey, Infidel, cool knife. However, it is extremely expensive. And you are right. No defense from me at all. $400 for a, granted, US produced OTF knife is a lot of money. And you made the point, several of you guys, in the comments, that you can get an HK, that is Benchmade produced, I believe, Turmoil, model 14808, for about half the price. And here it is. And it's even funner. Look at this. This thing is wicked fast. It is so fun, this knife. And dudes, you are correct. Totally correct. Now, I think the applications, let's just jump right into it, philosophy of use, are a little bit different because of the size of the blade and the size of the handle as I see it. In the Infidel series, I said in that review, they can function as defensive knives. And I will totally stick by that. They have a very large handle set. It has plenty of room on it. It is a side firing button, granted. The blades are pretty long. They have reach on them. And yet the knife is not so large you could not use it for utility tasks. It's a pretty much can do everything OTF knife. Now, when we look at the Turmoil, I think the focus should be, and rightly so, on, what do you think? That's right, EDC. Well done, dudes. Yeah, I totally agree. This is a great, fun, and the operative word is fun, OTF EDC knife. It really is, in my way of thinking, an OTF version of the Benchmade 2550 Mini Reflex, which I've raved about ever since I started TMP. One of my first auto knife reviews, you can go way back and check it out. The Mini Reflex, and I'll roll in a photo, I don't have one on the table, is perfectly sized for all sorts of tasks. And that is how I look at the Turmoil, the HK Turmoil. Perfectly sized for EDC. Not too big, not too small, very, very easy to carry. Philosophy of use. How about tactical blade? Yeah, it could be. The traction, as we will see, is pretty much perfection on the knife. It really is. It doesn't have like dedicated jimping. It shouldn't. It's an OTF design. But we'll see the traction is high, albeit the blade is a little bit shorter than an Infidel. Let's take a look. This is what I'm talking about. So we've got the drop point S30V version. By the way, that's D2 steel in this specific model of Turmoil. They made changes as years go on. So a little bit extra blade length, but you know, pretty close. Not too bad. We're going to show you some competitive options. Maybe not OTF knives, but in this auto knife extravaganza, side firing ones that would fall into the same, you know, size category. Tactical blade. Gift knife, soldier knife. Oh, I love that philosophy of use, by the way. And for that matter, cop knife. Something that you just carry, have it in your pocket, ready to go. Yeah, totally. Be careful though, soldiers. If you ever have a knife this awesome, it will get stolen from you by your buddies. Said that before in a few KRVs, right? Yeah, you turn your back, you leave it on your cot, it may be gone. Hey, did you see my H&K Turmoil? No. Or you just lose it. Yeah, I'll leave POU at that, but primarily EDC utility blade. One thing I really love about this knife is it's very lightweight. 3.4 ounces for this Turmoil. That's nothing. You guys know I like the lightweight stuff, right? Yeah. I mean, it makes it feel like a feather in hand. It's just super light, perfectly balanced. Great blade shape, by the way. Primary grind is FFG. Coming down to secondary, let's check the edge. Not so great. I'll give the edge out of box a 3 out of 10. I mean, could you do this if it was sharp? No way. On a blade I've sharpened? No way. Competitive options I'll show you, there's no way you could do that. So it needs to be sharpened. You do have a flat portion here. We can do it on a consistent angle sharpener. It's a nice clip blade design. I like it. I really like the blackened version. Also available in satin too. Look at the H&K logo on the other side. But I love the blade shape. Good steel too. D2 is a good choice. Holds an edge pretty good. And speed, I think we already established, right? God, that's fast. Look at that. One thing I really love about the Turmoil is that the spring pressure to extend the knife and retract it is pretty light. It's positive and won't, do it on its own, but it's lighter than some other competitive offerings, and I really like that they got that right. Some of them are really stiff, and you'll have more than a dent in your thumb. You may lose your thumb because it takes so much pressure to actuate the blade. The Infidel, by the way, is pretty light as well. Not quite as light as the Turmoil. See, this one I have to kind of actuate it more. Put some muscle behind it. Just a thought, though. Speed is actually 10 out of 10. Lockup should be standard OTF. Meaning that they have to have some play in there so it will fire out of the handle. So it is. It is what it is. I mean, if you want no shake at all, then go with a different knife design. OTF blades with current technology, that's kind of what they're doing. Man, it's a fun knife, though. Handle construction. First, a criticism. I don't really dig the matte, chalky, black anodizing on the Turmoil. And I said it on this knife, didn't I? I'll stick with that. Now, for traction and practicality, first cool, it's good. It locks in the hand. And it will eventually kind of slick up a little bit with the use this one has. Okay, this is a cast member here in the project, this Infidel and Drop Point. That being said, I kind of wish they would do it in a different color. Maybe a bright orange, an FDE, a blue, a purple, something like that. And make it semi-gloss, if you will, anodizing. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. This is a Piranha pocket model in blue. First up, look at that blade. That's beautiful. Previously reviewed, by the way, this pocket model. Awesome US produced auto knife. Not an OTF, but side firing. And look at the finish on the handle. This is what I'm talking about. Semi-gloss. Granted, this is kind of a splotchy blue-black. I really like it. My favorite is the black-orange they do. Really cool. I've shown that on camera. Kind of like that. I mean, for the price level you're paying on this knife right here is a lot less than that one. And yet, look at the presentation difference. Hey, who cares about presentation? A lot of people do. I do. I want my knife to look cool. I want it to excite me when I, pull it out of pocket. Second cool thing is all we're talking about. Practicality, who cares? There's a great, finish to the knife. I get all that. Let's look at the actual handle, though. I don't know if they could really improve this. Finish notwithstanding, but the slimness, for instance, is amazing. It is so skinny. Just because we have it here, we'll compare it against the pocket model, which I also raved about. It's about the same thickness, right? Man, that's a cool handle. And it's got milling on the bottom, milling on the side, on the deployment button, which is top mounted, not side mounted like the Infidel. I can roll either way. Hey, which one do you prefer? I could roll either way. If you were to press me, I would go with the top mounted button. I like that better because that's a normal orientation for blade use. Holding a blade like this. Do I normally hold my blade sideways like that and to fire like the Infidel? No. I will adapt if the knife's that way. If this is better. I love that it doesn't have a safety on it too. I love that. Good milling here. Beveling on the back. And that takes us to the clip, which is good. I'll give the clip by itself 6.5 out of 10. I wish it was mounted higher, and I wish it could accommodate thicker fabric. I raved about the one on the Infidel series, right? Here it is again. Loop over. Why didn't they just use this one? That, put that on here, total win. So I'm going to ding it just a little bit for the clip. This is a great clip on that. To be honest though, you know, the Piranha Pocket, it's okay. That's probably a likability scale of 5 out of 10, maybe 4 out of 10 on that clip, to be honest. There you go. Whatever. Clip though. Durability on this knife. Well, it's an OTF knife. You need a hard using folding knife. Go get a Cold Steel Triad, which incidentally is my ADC today. Recon 1, I believe. With my super sick and awesome JB Weld painted modification under the clip. That's a strong knife. I mean, that can take a lot of abuse. Maybe the Turmoil, not so much. Not so much, so. How about competitive options? Well, I have a couple on the table, or at least one right now. Here comes another one, and some of these are OTF designs, some not, but it is an auto knife extravaganza. For instance, the SOG Spec Elite Auto 2. Oh my gosh, do I love this knife. It is so cool. Speaking of thinness, it has the same thinness as the Turmoil. Bigger blade, let's compare. Like a lot bigger. Broader, could shear better, stronger blade. Probably a better overall self-defense choice, this one. Maybe even a food knife, which I love my knives to do. I mean, I'm cutting food, prepping food with them all the time. This might be a better slicer. But as far as maneuvering a blade, you're going to be hard-pressed to beat that one. That thin clip blade of the Turmoil. Great choice. Perfect jimping on that one, by the way. Spec Elite. Look at the clip here. Great knife. And it's going to be less expensive than this one. Like a lot. A lot. This is an expensive blade. Incidentally, let's visit that real quick. If you were to walk into a knife store or a tactical store, this is a price you could expect to see with some variants. $225. Hey, I ain't charging the money for it. They are. So it's a lot of money, but auto knives, especially ones produced in the United States, I've talked about this lots, they're expensive. They always have been. As far as auto knives go, that's in the ballpark. I mean, it's not outlandish. Online, you're going to probably see 190, 180, at least for the satin version. My recommended retailers are at the top, by the way. Go buy it from them. They're awesome, man. Good prices, too, as best I can. And if there's a free shipping code, I'll list it there. How about this one? Blast from the past. Here comes a Microtech, and this is a TMP version. Oh, sick. From 2012. Now, here's an OTF knife. The Ultratech, granted, the TMP version is long gone, very collectible, goes up in value every year from what I see. Just a cool knife. FDE color. And this is a finish, again, that we put on ours. Kind of, it's not flat. It's like semi-gloss, better said satin. This, by the way, is 007 James Bond serial number. Yes. All kinds of second cool and first cool with this particular OTF knife, the Ultratech. The button on it, though, does not fire as smoothly as the Turmoil. It fires fine, but it takes a little bit of more, you know, a little bit more muscle to actuate the button. I think they've lightened it up in the years since. I've talked to Microtech about it, and the Scarab and Ultratech's like, make it lighter. By way of reference, this one's like so fast and quick, like that. I like it. I also said this is a perfect EDC knife, and perhaps even a tactical blade. I like the top mounted button here, and this has a glass breaker on it. Kind of wish the Turmoil did as well. Kind of. It's just kind of a cool thing, you know. Competitive options. Still talking auto knives. How about this one? Let me put this one front stage. Like that right there. I really love this knife, by the way. I wish they made it. I've shown it in other KRVs. Boom. Kershaw 7000. Not an OTF knife, but an auto knife nevertheless. Pillar constructed, weighs like 0.01 ounce. Okay, not that light, but it's like 2.3 ounces or something insane like that. Clip could be improved. It's just very low mounted. Super wicked speed, super lightweight, great blade shape. It's gone though. You might find one on the secondary market. But let's compare the size against the two. And I'm throwing it up here also for value considerations. So this at the time was a lot less than this. About half the price. Actually a lot less than half. You could actually buy 2.5 of these for one of these. OTF blades in particular are extremely expensive. They've just been able to convince the knife market that, hey, OTF knives, costs this much to make, and people pay the price. That's how it is. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. How about this? I've never shown it. Mel Pardhu 3550. Kind of a weak deploying blade though. Check this out. Could probably use a stronger spring in it. Tip down carry if you like that. You'll love this knife. 154 cm steel, weighs nothing though. 2.8 ounces, about 170 bucks, give or take some. This is a black version, and I prefer it. And again, 154 cm. It has a chalky handle as well. Benchmade just has always used that. Lock on it. Couple options. I think that's it. Yep, that's all I got. However, getting back to the star of the show, the Turmoil, man, is it a cool knife. Cool knife. It's expensive. I don't know what to tell you about that. Is it worth the money? Oh, wow. If you were to ask me, I don't know if I have an answer. I mean, every knife on that table I love. Maybe less so this. I'm not a super fan of the 3550. The Mel Pardhu Auto. Sorry, I'm not. But it's a good knife. It's okay, but likability's not smoking. But the rest of these knives, very high likability scale. If you could score it for around 180 bucks, yeah, I say it's worth it. There you go. There you go. Are they going to come out with some different colors of it, the Turmoil? I think it's going to be super successful, is my guess. Maybe this video will help. The H&K Turmoil is such a cool knife. It's so well executed. I can't change anything except the finish of the handle set, really. I'm not going to be changing the price. US produced, OTF knife, blah, blah, blah. We've talked about it. The clip, I guess, but they're not going to change that either. As is, it's still a cool knife. I would totally run it. The best features of the knife are the size, the weight, the slimness, the blade shape, and the speed. That's a Nut and Fancy review. Later.